The House of Saud, the ruling royal family of Saudi Arabia, is a powerful and wealthy dynasty. It traces its roots back to Muhammad bin Saud and his brothers in the 18th century. The modern leadership, however, is largely passed on from Abdulaziz bin Abdul Rahman, the founder of Saudi Arabia. This family is part of the larger Banu Hanifa tribe. At its core, the royal family has tremendous influence and wealth, with an estimated 2,000 members holding most of the power. Their wealth, including assets from Saudi Aramco, can range from $500 billion to $3 trillion, making them the wealthiest family in the world's history. The Al Saud family's history traces back to a person named Mani ibn Rabah al-Muradi, who moved to Diriyah in 1446 with his Maratha clan. The Maratha folks are thought to be part of the Banu Hanifa group within the larger Rabia tribal community. This Banu Hanifa group had a significant impact on the Middle East and Arabia. Mani got an invitation from a relative named Ibn Dur, who ruled a bunch of villages and estates forming today's Riyadh. Mani had been living in East Arabia near Al-Qatif for some time. Ibn Dur gave Mani two estates, Al-Mulabid and Qusba. Mani and his family moved in and renamed the place Al-Diriyah after Ibn Dur. The Maratha clan took charge of Al-Diriyah, which thrived along the banks of Wadi Hanifa and became a significant Najd settlement. As they grew, there were power struggles, with one branch heading to Durma nearby and another branch, Al-Wamban, going to the town of Az-Zabir in southern Iraq. The Al-Murkan became the leading family among the Maratha in Diriyah. The clan's name comes from Sheikh Saud ibn Muhammad ibn Mukran, who passed away in 1725. In 1727, the first Saudi state was born. It was a time of conquest and religious passion, stretching across much of today's Saudi Arabia and even reaching into Yemen, Oman, Syria, and Iraq. Key religious figures like Muhammad ibn Abdul Wahhab played a vital role in this period. They were known as the Mohaddin or Al-Tawhid, later becoming the Wahhabis for their strict religious beliefs. Leadership was passed down within the Al Saud family. In 1802, they led a brutal attack on Karbala, Iraq, causing widespread death and destruction. This act alarmed the Ottomans and Egyptians. The Ottomans eventually defeated the Saudis in 1818, ending the first Saudi state, with Abdul ibn Saud meeting a tragic end in Constantinople. After the fall of Diriyah in 1818, the Saudis made a comeback and set up the second Saudi state in Najd with Riyadh as its capital. Unlike the first state, this one didn't expand its territory much and was less focused on religious passion, though it still had religious scholars guiding it. However, internal family conflicts and power struggles led to the downfall of the second state, with most successions happening through assassinations or civil wars, except for once when it passed down from Faisal ibn Turki to his son Abdullah ibn Faisal ibn Turki. Abdulaziz bin Abdul Rahman, also known as Ibn Saud, made a journey to establish the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. After seeking refuge in Kuwait and some early struggles, he managed to take control of Riyadh in 1902. Over the next few decades, he faced off against various rivals, including the Al-Rashid clan and the Ottoman Turks. With British support, he gained control of Central Arabia, and in 1926, he conquered the Hijaz in 1932. He united his territories to form Saudi Arabia. Ibn Saud had many wives and children, and he strategically formed alliances through marriage. His eldest son, Saud, became the heir apparent, followed by Faisal. Abdulaziz's death in 1953 marked the start of his family's rule, with Saud initially taking the throne, but later abdicating to Faisal due to financial mismanagement. The Saudi royal family went through further transitions, with various members assuming key roles, including Nayef Sultan and finally Salman as king in 2017. There was a notable anti-corruption campaign led by the king and crown prince, with support from the United States President Donald Trump. The big boss in Saudi Arabia is the king, and he has tons of power. He's in charge of the whole country and can make important decisions. The king picks people to run different parts of the government, and some of these jobs are usually given to his family members, the Sauds. The Saudi family also has a strong grip on the military and government. They've been in charge for a long time, and their rule relies on support from religious leaders, businesses, and the general public. Over the years, some top princes have had their own powerful territories, like King Faisal running foreign affairs for decades and King Abdullah looking after the National Guard. The current defense minister is Prince Muhammad bin Salman, who is King Salman's son and the crown prince. It's also about keeping things in the family and holding on to that power. The terms of service in Saudi Arabia have allowed senior princes to mix their personal wealth with the wealth of their regions. They often put their own sons in high-ranking positions within their areas of control. Unlike Western royal families, the Saudi monarchy didn't have a clear order of succession. When a king took the throne, he would pick an heir to the throne, who would be the crown prince. When the king passed away, the crown prince became the new king, and if the king couldn't rule, the crown prince acted as a regent. While other Al Saud members had political roles in the Saudi government, legally it was only the king and crown prince who held the highest authority. In 2015, Forbes ranked Prince Al-Walid bin Talal, an heir of Saudi Arabia's first king, as the 34th wealthiest person globally, with a net worth of about $22.6 billion. Fast forward to 2020, and the whole Saudi royal family's combined wealth was estimated at roughly $100 billion, making them the richest royal family and one of the world's wealthiest families. Some even suggest their total wealth could reach as high as $1.4 trillion, including stakes in Saudi Aramco. It's safe to say they're not short on riches. The House of Saud, which rules Saudi Arabia, has faced a lot of criticism because of its authoritarian and quasi-religious rule. There have been several troubling events during their reign, like the Wahhabi Ikhwan militia uprising under Ibn Saud's rule. Even Osama bin Laden, who criticized the U.S., was no fan of Saudi Arabia and lost his Saudi citizenship in the 1990s. One of the most notable incidents happened on November 20, 1979, when the Grand Mosque in Mecca was violently seized by a group of dissidents. These rebels were heavily armed and led by Juhayman al-Otawi and Abdullah al-Qahtani, and many were former Ikhwan militia members. The Saudi royal family sought religious approval to retake the mosque, and with the help of French special ops units, they did. The GIGN commandos even converted to Islam before the raid. The leaders of the seizure were publicly beheaded in several Saudi cities. In January 2016, Saudi Arabia executed Sheikh Nimr, a prominent Shiite cleric who had called for democracy protests, along with 47 other Saudi Shia citizens, on terrorism charges. Starting in May 2017, due to protests against the government, the predominantly Shia town of El Awamiyah has been under siege by the Saudi military. Residents can't come and go freely, and the Saudi military has been using airstrikes, mortar fire, and snipers against the neighborhoods, resulting in the deaths of many Shia civilians, including young children. The Saudi government claims they are fighting terrorists in El Awamiyah. The House of Saud has a significant influence on the Muslim world in several ways. Their governance of Saudi Arabia and their guardianship of Islam's holiest places, Mecca and Medina, make them a central player. The Saudi royals oversee Mecca and Medina, crucial for Muslims worldwide. They ensure the safety and comfort of millions of pilgrims during Hajj and Umrah. If we talk about the political sector, Saudi Arabia, led by the royals, influences Middle Eastern and broader Muslim world politics through their wealth and resources, supporting aligned causes and groups. Many royals engage in charity and philanthropy, donating to Islamic causes, humanitarian efforts, and infrastructure development in Muslim-majority nations. Saudi Arabia positions itself as an Arab and Muslim leader, mediating conflicts, negotiating peace, and advocating for Muslim interests globally. As a leading oil producer, Saudi Arabia influences economic policies and relationships within the Muslim world, funding development projects. It's important to note that the Saudi royals' impact on the Muslim world is a topic of debate, with varying opinions on the consequences of their actions and policies. While they play a central role in many aspects of Muslim life, their influence isn't universally embraced, and their policies have sparked disagreement within the Muslim world. And with this, we reach the end of today's video. What do you think about today's video? Share your opinion. Do let us know in the comments section below, and if you like today's video, give us a thumbs up. And do not forget to hit the subscribe, share this video with your friends and family, and press the bell icon for more upcoming videos. We'll see you next time with a newer video. Stay tuned and take care.